Hey, sports fans, I want to do a real quick one here. I'll tell you what, man, this has been quite the day. Quite the day. Yeah, it's cold here. Live way up north and feed my animals and what have you. And that's the reason I'm wearing this because I ain't done yet, but I had to get a quick one in. Just want to talk about what happened today. Trump is straight up amazing. I mean, talk about wiping out the MSN. Uh, this guy is just shit, man. He he tweeted out what he's going to do with Tillerson. Rex Tillerson, you got to understand. I don't know how many people that watch me or watch or pay attention to anything that's going on. Rex Tillerson was a big shot for Exxon, and anyway, he fired him over Twitter today and threw the mainstream media for a loop. Man, these people just they don't know how to deal with this guy Trump because he does whatever he wants. He cuts right through the bullshit, and he talks to the people when he's tweeting stuff. He's tweeting out stuff to the public. He's bypassing the media, and they hate it. They just can't stand it. I think it's great. That's the greatest thing that we've seen in forever, man, as far as I'm concerned. Probably since, since probably the first revolution and then some. Just a great job. Tillerson was, I think, everybody says, well, he picked him. Well, yeah, he's probably got a plan. Trump plays chess better than I do. And I'm pretty damn good at it. But this guy, he's the shit, man. I love this. Do I agree with everything he does? Hell no, I don't. But, this is a big game, and he's the master, man. He's winning. He's winning. And by him winning, he's able to bring us all together, all of us that really love this country and care about this country. So many things going on. It's just crazy. It's nuts. He got rid of Tillerson and he brought in Mike. I don't know how you say his name, Pompeo or Pompeo or whatever it is. But anyway, a good old Mike. He was in the CIA. He was the director of the CIA, and he moved him up to Secretary of State. I guess I better back up because Tillerson was the Secretary of State. Maybe I didn't say that, but maybe you don't know that. But anyway, he was the Secretary of State. He was appointed by Trump. Fired him today on Twitter. You gotta love it. And then brings in Pompeo. And Pompeo, he got appointed a little over a year ago as director of the CIA, and probably served his purpose. So he's moving up the food chain a little bit, because when you go to Secretary of State, man, that's up the food chain a little bit further than the CIA. The CIA is not but a bunch of spooks, and they're operators, and they do whatever the fuck they want. And here again, I'm trying to curb that. I apologize for my language, but they do whatever they want, and they ain't getting away with it no more. And that's what I think. This is just cool. This is really cool. Q told us to watch the news. He's been saying it for the last 2 weeks, and every week he says, watch the news, watch the news. Well, there's stuff happening now, folks, that everybody better pay attention to, because it's going the other way. And there's a lot of them out there that just don't like it. And, I say to them, and by the other ones that don't like it, I'm talking about the black hats. I think Pompeo might be a white hat. I don't know. He's got a pretty good reputation. He was, I think he's a patriot. Trump had nominated Gina Haspel to replace. Trump had nominated the next the CIA director. She's a woman. Her name's Gina Haspel, and she's been a spook for a long time. She's a straight up spook, and she was involved in some pretty serious stuff. And as far as I don't know, and you don't know, nobody knows, but the mainstream media says that she, was responsible for deleting videos of torture. She ran a black site CIA operation in Thailand, which was a prison camp, and that they used to bring, and probably still do. I mean, we don't know what these spooks do. Q calls them clowns, but I'm old school, so they're spooks. And I mean, these same spooks are the ones that are responsible for the Gulf of Tonkin, which was Vietnam. And some of you people don't know that, just look it up. You can Google the Gulf of Tonkin and what started the Vietnam War. And then prior to that, you can look up the Korean War, which was never a war. They were both, Korea and Vietnam were police actions. They were CIA operations. The CIA's been running the Korean shit since day one. And this all goes back to the old Soviet Union, which doesn't exist anymore. And I'm so sick of this Russian shit. It makes me sick. Anyway, that's a whole other topic. But anyway, back to this Gina Haspel. She's a pretty scary woman, in my opinion. Her prison she ran was called Cat's Eye. I don't know if I mentioned it. Maybe I did. I'm tripping over my tongue. But and it was in Thailand. And this is where they took some of the good people that were, I don't know what you want to call them, Al-Qaeda, Abu Dhabi's, Alibabas, or whatever. And that's not racist, that's just straight up their names. I mean, they all got the same name. They're all named Allah, and they all worship Allah, and I'm just throwing that out there. But anyway, it was alleged that there was a lot of torture went on there at this prison, the Cat's Eye, and she was responsible for it because she ran it. And they're also saying that she was told, or she gave directions to delete videos of torture. Well, I don't know that. If it's spooks, wouldn't surprise me none. But anyway, that's all I got. I just wanted to say that what's going on today is the most important thing about this whole mess. They see it as a mess. I see it as a victory. Me and many others. My buddy in the bunker with Mike, we had a little bit of discussion about this today, and I think we're both on the same page, because when it first broke out, I think our team was the first ones to break it. Isn't that ironic? You know, Russia Today. There may have been somebody who broke it before RT did, but I don't know that. But they broke it out, and then you know, right away, you know, we're back and forth talking and trying to figure out what's going on. And what we found out was that maybe this dude ain't so bad. And I'm talking about Pompeo, or however you say his name. We'll see what happens. But yeah, today's day is going to go down in history, because the biggest thing is he told the MSM, which is the mainstream media, to up yours. Adios, amigos. I'm out. Have a great one.